So I'll ask you guys as well if anybody else has background or has had any experience and or even family members that have either served or have been as first responders and or in the military as well. We did get a little sneak peek from Miss Lindsay. We saw a little Twitter picture, excuse me, of what was that? What uniform were you wearing?
I was in a former lifetime. I was a corrections officer.
Okay, right on.
Very cool.
That was a nice surprise. So how long did you do that for?
I did that for 2 years when I was going through college, and I thought like, oh, hey, that'll be a job I could do in the summer. And then they asked me to stay on board for a little bit longer, and I realized that wasn't necessarily the crowd that I could vibe with, so I moved on.
Completely understandable. Yeah. So real quick, before we go around the wheel here, just check in with the chat, say hello to everybody. Harmonic Hexkin, thanks for dropping in. Good old Hex Glenn, hello. Miss Julie, hello. Fashion Coder, you did a thing up in Utah, right? Last week.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was so much fun. So the Pulse Chain Tour was here, and when those events come around, it's just so much fun because you get to see your crypto friends and people that like you actually have relationships with in real life. And so it was super cool. And then every time we do something like that as well, like you always meet new people and make new connections too. So it's like there's old connections, new connections. And my dad went with me, which made it even better. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see your relationship with your father throughout this whole journey over the years. That's been really cool, and I'm sure special, very special. Not everybody gets that opportunity, so happy for you. That's really cool. So here, She Slays Crypto, hello. My boy brother Compassion, bang bang, what's up? And what do you know? The stylist is in the house. Hey. The Swamp, good to see you. SMO Spider, hello. Great to see everybody. We got AJ here, and the one that always puts it all together, right? The one and the only. Yes. Man, so many events. I know. Who has everyone done the cruise? A cruise in general. I have.
You have.
I did the Pulse Chain cruise out of LA down to Cabo San Lucas.
Okay.
And then there was the other one was out of Miami. Right? Was the other one the Hex cruise? That was the Hex cruise. Yeah. So great stuff. I always love the events. Man, I guess 2 years in a row I made it to the Hex birthday. San Diego, and man, dude, I swear, like the years are flying by. It's crazy.
It's so good that you go to so many things, like all the meetups, because that's really where you make these connections. I always meet new people. I met amazing people in Vegas. I just went in March for the 369 event. And it was so good to see old friends, but then also to connect with new people. And then, as we were talking about in the green room, that's about this kind of new generation of, the creators and builders and influencers coming up, and like how this, now Pulse Chain is almost a year old, and, the people that have come in and really added value to the system. And I've met a lot of, people who, are, part of this guard, and they had their perspective is really, I think, very, very important, because crypto moves so quickly and we have to constantly evolve with, the narrative is always going to shift, right? I mean, look at this, before this Bitcoin halving, we hit an all-time high in Bitcoin when so many people said that couldn't happen. It happened. So it's like, we have to really pay attention. And I feel like, it's so good that you stream so often, because you keep everyone current, and there's so much great content out there to really stay on top of it because there's so many opportunities.
Yeah, the opportunities are endless, especially in Pulse Chain. It's crazy. Lindsay's always out there just pounding the streets. I mean, I see you on Insta dropping stuff. You're doing your car chats and whatnot. And I mean, I'm sure, and you do call it out. Like you try to reach out to other communities, and sometimes I think you get pushback or people don't know what they don't know. But we're trying to spread the word or educate in our own ways. If you want to expand on that or share your thoughts.
Honestly, the hardest thing to relay to others in crypto is that they're not actually participating in DeFi.
That's a hard one for them to wrap their heads around, right? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's we joke as a community like that it's an IQ test, but really it really is that it's that leap of faith that we have all taken as a collective in this space, that it's not because of one person. It's because we are a truly decentralized community. That's why it's hard for us to unite with one message, because although we have a common reason for us all being here, we each have our own ideals and beliefs and our excitement around where we want this to go. And where we want this to go is for the people to be able to take back that economic energy and then to bring it back out into the world in a way where it's beneficial to all, which is not necessarily what we see. And so it's frustrating when other people in the crypto space don't understand or respect crypto ethos. Now, whether Lynette Zhang was, on top of that or not, I don't know if you guys caught what she had said about Bitcoin at all. Or like Lynette is like I love listening to her, and she's super smart. She's a gold bug, and she's just really she's one to follow. And she is saying that Bitcoin is actually a little bit of a drop there, and it's not actually for the people by the people, but it was created for another reason, not necessarily for the people. So it's like hearing that and then seeing the centralization that has occurred around all these different cryptos that say like we're decentralized finance. No, you're not. You're Uniswap.
Right, with an actual office and a location, to be served, evidently.
Yeah, but I hope that everybody else understands and has some confidence behind that too. They are serving in the hardest state, in the hardest district of New York. Right.
That's a great fair point, right? If you're gonna give them a little kudos, not
necessarily kudos, but perhaps some confidence to the rest of the people in the crypto space, where you see, consensus is consensus, and we all use MetaMask, right? So
very true.
It's because Internet Money Wallet isn't. It's because Internet Money Wallet doesn't have the same. I don't know. We all have different wallets we love. I love Internet Money because it's our community.
Right.
Same. I love it. Yeah.
And I love it because it tracks all of your price performances, and you get the best swap fees in there too. So out to you guys.
Yeah. Brother KG, right?
It's really good. I love how you can just trade within the wallet. You don't have to leave. And then it just finds the best fee for you. The best rate for you. It's really nice. It feels safe.
It's so good for it to use. It uses 9 DEX aggregators for us.
Cool.
Yeah, and you can get, and I love it. It's my favorite price performance tracker for Pulse Chain coins.
Yeah, I agree. Nice. I think it's really good. Fashion Coder, you speak to a really young generation, which is amazing. And do you find that within your kind of your group that people are more open to DeFi, or do you feel like they are still going through the centralized exchanges and the Coinbases, et cetera?
I think it kind of depends. So something that I've seen a lot, and I like through dating apps, I try to survey people. So it's pretty one-sided because they're men that I'm surveying through this. But I see that a lot of them say that they're in crypto, but they are on like Robinhood, which I feel like is so much worse.
A hell of a lot worse.
Could we take even one step further? Like, could we get into an exchange? Could we, get into that like realm? But then I do meet other people, and I do have some friends that I've made actually from like dating apps that want to dive in and they want to be in true DeFi. So I found like that aspect of it. And then follower wise, it's all over the board. Oh my goodness. When Pulse Chain launched, my eyes were opened that literally no one understands what's going on. And I would like say something like repeatedly in a video, and then people would ask that in the comments. So I honestly, I don't think people understand DeFi.
That's a really fair point. It's like the goal is to get people into DeFi, but I think that to zoom out for a second, I'm around fashion people, and fashion people are predominantly no coiners, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to find the gateway drug, and the gateway drug is through Coinbase, because it's, people know it, they've heard of it, they trust it. And it's I get them into Ethereum and Bitcoin because it's not quite as crazy volatile, and just have them start with that. And they still freak out about the dips, and the dips are not big, and then once they get into it and they start to see some gains, they start to feel more confident. Then I'm like, oh, if you want to throw $100 at this system that, like it's something that I think that could like 1,000x. I mean, it could go to zero, but it could 1,000x. With $100, you're going to spend that on dinner anyway. Why don't I show you how to bridge over? And that's what I do. So I get them in, I let them get comfortable with it, and then I have them bridge over. So I just had a friend bridge over, and he's more brave. So he put a ton of money into Hex, Pulse, and then some other altcoins that I really believe in. And he put a bunch of money into it. But you have to get them into it first. It's like, you can't they don't know what we know, and they're not in our world or in our mindset. Crypto is crazy. People do not understand it. So I think that's something that's important to remind people in our community, because we're already so ahead.
Totally. And they have to get their toes wet, right? And that's totally what you do.
Yeah, exactly. They have to get their toes wet. So,
yeah, you gotta push some buttons, right? I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, like, I've sent shit to a contract address. I mean, I've made the mistake, people, a lot of us have scars. We've done something somewhere, kind of, oops, I shouldn't have done this. But
I could do a whole stream on all the things not to do, because I've done it. It's messed up. I mean, it's like, oh my God, so much dumb, like, you just have to go through it to learn it. But that's why it's good to give people time to, play around in the system and see it and track it and make it real for them, instead of like forcing them. So, I mean, that's my advice, and that's what's worked for me. I've onboarded a few people into Hex already in Korea. Oops, sorry. I just don't somewhere
in Asia.
In Asia. So
edit. It's a big. Anyways, so I guess briefly, just for some kids at home, I know this is a more experienced group and whatnot, but like, what year roughly did each of you kind of get started? Just a quick synopsis. I know everyone's told their life stories and everything in the past, but Lindsay, if you want to just share a brief synopsis, people get to know you.
Well, I came into crypto in 2021, and I was brought in by a loved one, and I was transitioning out of full-time formulating and making and running a full-time skincare business. So.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hence like the lip balm and everything else that you make and whatnot.
That's why your skin is so nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Say it right back. Oh, like, this panel is just like, you guys are yeah, skincare was a passion of mine for many years. I love the idea of being able to grow and make and take it into something that's your own. And I grew up on a farm, right? So I love being out in the air. And so for me to be able to take something that I can plant and grow and then harvest and then manufacture and then put it on someone's skin, the way that they feel about it and the way that I feel about it, it just feels good. Yeah.
Amen. Hey, interject. Candace, God bless you. Thank you.
Candace.
Ladies,
Hi, Candace.
what'd you ladies think of the thumbnail?
She's amazing.
Candace did the thumbnail.
So good.
Yeah, she's like everything. Like she's like, that's my goals. Is like if I could be as efficient and as cool and as awesome as her. Like she's amazing. Yeah.
I'll call her out. Like I would love to get her on stream because I've seen her like in Vegas, right? Like she works a room. Like she is good.
You would build a huge following if she was on stream.
Yes. So do you hear this, Candace? This is your calling. I'm calling you out.
We need more women. Yeah.
Yes.
You can let access of all the fun. Come on, you can't let all
I know. Seriously, he cannot take all the credit. I'm sorry because you do a lot for him.
She keeps him on track. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
We see you, girl. Keep your butt up here.
Yeah, for sure. So God bless. So Miss Fashion Coder, your brief story for the kids at home.
Oh, yes. So I got into crypto in 2019. And so I was a sophomore in college, and it was wild because my dad came to me and he was like, hey, I think you should invest into this. So I put money in and it doubled in a week. And I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. Like, what? Crypto, like, money can do that? I didn't know that. So immediately I was sold on crypto. And then I started making content a little over 2 years ago. So in 2022. So yeah, it's been such a wild ride. And my background is in tech. So I have a degree in computer science and then an MBA in IT management. So that's where like I ended up getting into it because I thought it was so cool. So kind of nerdy, but hey, it is the path that I took.
Oh my gosh, you're so lucky, Fashion Coder. You got in so young. You're so smart.
It was my dad. That was the thing. It was my dad.
You know what? God bless your father.
I know.
That's great.
He set you up for success for sure.
Yes, he did.
It's a no-brainer. But yes, it's been an evolution, right? So, and it's been baby steps, and like we can go into everything, and even as Hexicans, we've had to evolve into a layer one, and now it's opened up all these new things. It's the evolution, and I think, and we're starting to learn things that this has been like the big RH master plan. Like we know he's gone from 4D, 5D, I think he's 9D chess level playing 2-3 years in advance, laying the foundation for things, knowing what was potentially coming in the horizon, and here we are. But Miss Crypto Stylist, your brief story, please.
Oh, okay. So I got in 2021 through a friend of mine who got me into the Pulse chain sacrifice. And then shortly after that, I won't tell the story how I met Richard because he wanted to do something in fashion. So I met Richard, and obviously, like, I got super sold onto the Hex and the whole ecosystem, and I really went really hard in PulseX, and yeah, we remain friends, and that was the best. I probably have one of the best stories of how I got onboarded in probably all of the Hex ecosystem.
Wow.
Yeah, it's through Richard.
That's how did you get in?
Good story. It was 2017. I was mining Ethereum. Had a lot of help. Like I went from installing satellite dishes to I'm a contractor. I've always been self-employed ever since I got out of the Marine Corps. I did 4 years in the Marine Corps. And then I've been self-employed doing different things ever since. So a little tech savvy. I need a lot of help. I mean, you tell me what to do, I can do it, and like a monkey, whatnot. So that led me, into like Nice Hash to like transfer my ETH into that because I was using the nice hash to run things, and then that led me, well, I had to get it out into Coinbase, and so just all these little baby steps. And I'm guilty. I didn't know any better for a hot second about freaking Robinhood. I didn't. I didn't know. I
don't know
dabbled.
what you don't know, and that's okay.
Yeah. It didn't feel like crypto. It felt like you're just literally getting ripped off anytime you made a transaction in and out, and they got all this verbiage and disclaimers, and like, it's, oh my God, it's disgusting, really. And then we you went through the AMC GME phase and all that. That was an interesting ride, and speaking of the devil, what's that guy's name? Crypto Kitty, or the dude with the bandana and the big GME guy, Kitty something. Anyways, I just saw he made something, Matty Allen.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know. Do you know anything specific? I don't remember details.
I didn't see it. I just saw it on
right.
X, and then I guess he
was
talked
in
about
that.
X. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was awesome. It was on the Mario Naffel thing. Anyways, so it was cool. I didn't know who it was, and I was on the phone with Maddie afterwards. He's like, "Do you know who we were on with?" And I was like, "No clue."
Whoa! Really? He was on that show?
Yeah, I think so. That's who Maddie was talking about. So anyways, and he was like, "Didn't you know we were on?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't know anything." I was like, "I need a history lesson."
Oh man, I got to go back now. Wow. Okay. All right. Now we're all connecting the dots, because like in that space is like so many just pulse chain peeps and everybody like really represented. I saw like Hexy Bastard was in there. I don't know if he paid to get in the slot, or I don't know how that one worked, what have you. But it was an awesome showing and representation of everybody in Pulse Chain, and it's just good exposure, right? The more we can do. So if Hexy Bastard, right on you. I know you've done that in the past and got on there before, so that's exactly what we need is good exposure, and everybody is doing it in their own different ways, right? Like I'm trying to do this with my channel, and it's open and free forum, talk about any crypto on any chain, what have you. I know Lindsay's out there, crossing, doing your thing, and so everyone in their own way is contributing to try to get the word out. So God bless each and every one of you, Is there anything specific? We can start with you, Miss Lindsay, that you want to get off your chest or talk about, or anything under the sun? How's the family? Adam's out there always, grinding on his show and whatnot as well. How is everything?
Things are good. We are plugging along. Degen Charizard is it's cool. I'm really excited for him. I'm so proud of what he's building. He's really building a project that is going to be facilitated with real world assets, which are Pokemon cards. So it's not just a token out there. There really is going to be some real world assets backing that. And so we're working through logistics on that and everything. And it's been a really exciting, because how are we supposed to know if Uniswap doesn't even know until they get served a Wells notice, So it's having faith in the system that we're in, which is a trustless, faceless system, right? So that's tough, but it's good. It's like we're building a community, and we're bringing more people and bringing more eyes in a Pulse Chain through those things. And one of the things I was going to mention really quick is bridging into Pulse Chain, and it's not easy right now. It's not easy. And so the more avenues that we get, even though they don't look so tasty at the time. For example, you had mentioned Robinhood and onboarding people in the Coinbase. Okay, well, you know what? If Coinbase is the gateway drug, so to speak, then let's feed them. And so one of the projects that is on Pulse chain there was a sacrifice done for it, but it's a multi-chain. It's Ethereum, it's BNB, and here we are on Pulse chain 2 is love.io. And you guys familiar?
Yep.
A little bit, yeah.
They have a bridge. There's staking. They have it's called lovefi.io, lovefi.com. Forgive me, I'm new here. And there's a shopping market there. So you can get your Dior perfume, you can get your Louis purses, you can get Gucci, and it's all high-end goods that you can purchase with fiat. And then it also creates a buy order for love token.
Oh, wow.
And so it's a way of onboarding new users through, shopping for sunglasses or shopping for a new purse or new shoes. And it's not just women, it's men and too. And it's all like high-end goods. They have like 3 warehouses in the United States, so it's shipping super fast. And they have partnerships with the designers that they work with. So it's not that like they're getting them secondhand or like they might just be like a season old or something. I know nothing about that. That's not my wheelhouse. That's yours. But so anyway, just that they have a marketplace. So there's like one avenue to onboard people. So they buy something because they like these glasses, and then they get an email saying, hey, by the way, you have some love tokens waiting for you. Come on over to Pulse Chain and check it out. Yeah. So I'll throw it out there. I just loaded a Coinbase wallet because I never, why would I use it?
Yeah.
I only use it so that I could start onboarding and helping more people with that. Because I was like, wait, I can't help people with Coinbase if I don't use it. So.
These are true. Like you gotta experiment, and it's out of necessity, right? It's okay. No one's gonna hold it against you. It's okay.
Yeah. And honestly, I had the highest liquidity on Pulse Chain for quite a few months. So it's something that I feel like I haven't gotten enough attention, but it's such a project focused on Pulse Chain and what they're doing for Pulse Chain. They're one of 2 representatives in Dubai this week. A little muddy, perhaps, but they're one of 2 projects. There's an energy drink, I believe, or like a food. Forgive me. I believe the ticker symbol is UN. But
sun.
Thank you. So that and love, they were the 2 big projects there, and there's many people there from.
Okay.
Yeah, out in Dubai.
No, I'm connected. Yeah. I'm connecting the dots and the different stories I've been hearing. Exactly. Yeah, like SMOs. Yeah, UN. And have you seen that chart? Like, oh my God, that chart is like stupid. Yeah. Have you seen it?
I have, and it's something that people will pay attention to, and it's something for everybody. There's a real world focus. I say real world because I feel like we are in crypto, so we're so like light years ahead of people on the normal ground. So I say real world because we all live in the real world, and they live in some sort of like fantasy like fiat world.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway.
It's crazy. And to that point, I'm just trying to. What's the ticker? Somebody. What's that ticker? Because it's on Pulse Chain, right?
Yeah.
Is it SUNN?
I want to say something. Let's see. It's been a while. I don't know if I have it saved to my deck screener.
I tried UN. UNN. SUNN. But anywho, so I briefly earlier I was chatting with Suzanne Art, who's out there in Turkey, right? And wow, love you, woman. God bless you and everything you do. And so she was trying to put. Love her clothes, right? I mean, I have some articles. I know we've seen Miss Lindsay walking the runway. Down at Power City, doing the thing, doing the walk. If I was really good, I would have had some of that video queued up and rolling. Oh God, it was a great time. That was a great experience. for everybody that was there. It was baller. It was cool. It was a real good one.
We were all there.
We
We're all
were. That was the first time I met crypto stylists like in person, which was
Me
awesome.
too.
And then you too,
Totally.
Lindsay, actually.
Yeah.
Nice. See, that's what it's
That's
all
fun.
about, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and like we could all attest and you know to it. Like, there's nothing like an in real life meetup. Just like-minded individuals, and I mean, I haven't met anybody that I have not liked or have not gotten along with. It's just, I mean, we're blessed in that regard that it's just, you know, worked out in that point. So let me oh, okay. Let me see if pull that up here. We'll get that pulled up here. But so she was saying, Suzanne Art, about, so she is, well, it's been crazy, right? So they had the flooding. You had the first attack from Iran to Israel that closed the airspace. She's been trying to get on a flight, and they closed the airspace, and that, you know, because all that stuff that's going on, and then it flooded, and she's trying to put together a real good, important meetup in Dubai for Pulse Chain and connect some, you know, good people together, because there's a lot of, you know, great connections right now in Dubai, and a lot of, you know, handshaking and meeting and greeting you can do. So she's fighting an uphill battle, like it be back and forth. And then she was going to get on another flight, and now Israel went after Iran, so they closed the airspace again. Like, this poor lady, like, she is, I have faith it's all going to work out for Suzanne, but God, keep up. I know it's stressful. It's got to be tough. Oh, that's for sure.
I mean, lots of love there, sister.
Yeah.
Three.
So it looks like, well, what we thought it was gonna, it did sell off. Let me just working on pulling it up here. We'll get the old chart and share it here. So yeah, so like Sun was one of the big, one of the, right, big investors, sponsors of the show, right? For the convention there. But yeah, so you can see it, it went up, it sold off. What is it? Oh God. Here, let's get that on something a little more realistic here. And throw some log action. So yeah, it was a pretty crazy run as far as that bad boy.
Do you have that on USD Rep Pulse, or do you have that on?
It's just on Pulse Chain. Let me.
I was just looking to see how many. Wow, it's 637 Pulse per.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it went up to 9 cents. She's down to 5. Man, what'd she start at? Oof. Let's see.
I honestly stopped looking at the dollars and cents part of it and started looking at how many pulse is that going to cost me? How many ETH is that going to cost me? How many Bitcoin is that going to cost me? Because that really, you know, our fiat is depreciating as we're speaking. So I look at that like, okay, well, it would cost 6 cents today, but like tomorrow would be 12, even if the price is still 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so I always toggle that and I switch it over to see and compare. Okay, how much Pulse X is that going to cost me? How much ink? You know what I mean? And switch that little button there, and then you can.
I started doing the same, Lindsay. I track everything like per, you know, how much Pulse it costs, because that's a better, I think, measurement than fiat. So
do you do that? Do you do that like in real? I do that like out in life too. I'm like, do I really like? I don't know. No, that's too much.
Oh yeah. I do that. I'm like, oh my God. And if Pulse were to like even just 10x, then that watch would cost me $100,000. Like, I won't shop because I do everything in terms of like, if it 10x, then that cost me. It's like the pizza the Hexologist bought with Hex. I guess they call it like the $100,000, $60,000 pizza. Hex. And it's like, you have to think about that when you're spending money. Yeah, it's all vis-a-vis Hex and Pulse. I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And yeah, the funny how we relate and correlate things to that in that regard. Hey, thanks for making a shout out from. It's always good to post a comment. Make sure that thing's working over there on the X side. So always nice to see a comment when it pops
Oh
in there.
yeah.
For sure. Because yeah, we're I got it streaming on like Twitch and Facebook and Instagram, and just doing all those things, trying, right? That's all you can do.
That's what do you think is going to happen after the Bitcoin halving? Now that it's happened.
Well, I mean, if the world isn't set on fire and everybody freaks out and what have you, it's gonna things will go on sale maybe 2-3 months. It's come the summertime, May, June, things rebound, and everything's gonna be okay on the alts and everything else, and we'll see where it goes. What are we looking at for the Ethereum ETFs, like probably August, September, of that nature? So that's going to be an interesting dynamic. I mean, there's new things, different catalysts this cycle, this time around. I think I've heard Axis referred to as maybe like the 2015 cycle, when he's doing his charts and all that good stuff. And it makes sense when he paints the picture and kind of, does the outlook into the future. But I'm not nervous or scared or worried about anything. We've been doing this bonded liquidity series, and that's just been mind-opening, to say.
It's so good. I watched it. The one that you did with Axis and Riggs and Coach and Sunny. I watched that. I think I watched it 3 times because it took me 3 times to kind of understand it. So it's really fascinating what's happening in that whole P-diatropa system, which I've been following. And I think he's in the chat, Lindsay, Adam, because Adam started covering it way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of a closet degen, so I like things like that. So I was obsessed with it. And I tried to talk to some of my friends about it, and they're like, yeah, you're crazy. So,
Right.
But yeah, I got into it then because of Adam. Thank you, Adam.
Awesome. Yeah. A lot of people took a lot of heat for it and whatnot. And as we know, like, Adam's just a freaking pioneer, man. Love
Here's what I'll say. I think that, obviously we're here because of Richard Hart. So I'm heavily invested in Pulse X. Yeah. I, do the liquidity farming. So I have Inc. and Hex and even eHex, right? So that goes without saying. So I will caveat with what I'm about to say with starting with that. But it's really interesting to see what's happening right now. You have the SolidX Axis, that whole system, right? Which is clearly a beast. You have the whole Tropa DAI, and then these hundreds of tokens, and then the wrap Bitcoin, that whole system, right? And then you have the PTGC, which I really, really believe in, and all their amplifier tokens, which I think is so undervalued. And I think because it's such a small market cap, when Pulse runs, I think it's going to run way faster. So it's just about being aware of what's happening, because all that, if you don't want to invest in any of that, all of that will increase your Pulse bag. But it's good to be aware of what's happening so you understand context, because whether you like it or not, for the maxis, these things are here and they're, showing a lot of strength. And I think there's a lot of interesting tokenomics behind it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lindsay, what are your thoughts on that side of the house?
No, Alien is with.
Ooh.
Did you see there right off?
Yeah.
That one is a silent. That one is not so silent, but it is definitely it's a sneaker. And the way that we are so far ahead when it comes to our ecosystem with our bots and our AI and our liquidity bonding and we have an automated market maker, and XRP is still trying to catch up with that. Smart contracts, we jumped into, coming into Hex, we jumped into smart contracts. You could jump into a liquid token, but if you're going to stake it, you're jumping into smart contracts. Mm-hmm. Now, how many people and how many ecosystems, look at Stellar, just released Sorbonne, a few months ago? Yeah, time flies. But now, smart contract capability. Yes, obviously, like they needed to take a little bit longer to put that out because of the systems and the rails and the entities that they'll be working with. So it took a little bit longer, but I think that our ecosystem is like, it's one of those, first they laugh at us and then they join us because they can't ignore us. And I laugh every time Rand, opens up those bubbles and completely ignores the huge
So funny.
mispronounces the token that he's actually looking at. I'm like, are you sure which one you're looking at there, buddy? But it's annoying for now. But think about it. Think about all those people that are shilling their IPOs and they're shilling their bags and they're waiting and they just got in on that token. Really? That's not true. You got on it days or weeks or months ago, and now you're waiting to use your audience as your exit liquidity. That is so gross. And I don't necessarily see that happening in our space. And I love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So cool.
We're smart.
Hell yeah.
Like we get them out of there too. If there's like a scammy token, that thing does not
the market rejects it. Yeah, the market definitely rejects it. So I think it's cool how the strong projects are really using Hart's Law. They're using Hart's Law, and that's why I like that is taking like the whole kind of basics and the foundation that Richard has laid for us, and then the smart players are taking it and saying, I'm going to take that and make it work for me. And the way that they're bonding, even cross projects, like you see SolidX bonded with, BBC, and you see, how the PTGC bonds with, like, they have like liquidity pools, with so many different, like all the Atropas. So when PDI goes to $1, like, that's going to fly. And it's really, it's really, really interesting to watch. And I think it's so worth paying attention to, because if you ignore it, you're going to miss the chance. I didn't get in on Hex day one. I got in at 17 cents and rode it all the way up to 50. Okay. So, and I really believe in Hex and I have a lot of it, but I'd like to, throw the dart at some things that are new and see if I can make some money.
Yeah. And that's okay. And you know what? Like, I'm not paying your bills. You know what? So you do whatever the hell you want to do with your money and your crypto. And, but a lot of us fall into that basket, that category of, our bags are packed. We got our staking ladders. We know what's true, what the core blue chips are, I mean, have fun. Like, I think for a while, and it was a brutal bear market, right? I mean, it was a lot of bad negative news for a hot minute. But now we're kind of getting around to have some fun. Like, crypto is fun. Like, go, you do you. Go live your life. Go have fun.
And if another project does really well on Pulse Chain, then that makes Pulse go up. Oh, so, like, you don't even have to invest in it, but don't hate on it, So that's
so to that point, I'll bring up SolidX, right?
Okay.
Like, SolidX was getting attention from the other chains because it was getting up there on Dex Screener, and others across chain were seeing it. So that is an example of a great product being on Pulse Chain to garner attention, and these are the things we need, and more of it. Most definitely. That's my opinion anyways, at least. But so another different article here that I wanted to pull up. Well, hey, so I know Stylist, you were over in the UK back in the day. Did you ever get out to any of the racing?
No, I didn't make it to the racing. No.
Yeah, I would like to get out there sometime. I think they've changed cars. I forget what they had last time, but yeah, man, just beautiful designs. The wraps on their vehicles and everything have been beautiful. Been beautiful. A different, real quick article here. More American millionaires are considering leaving the U.S. Is anybody surprised in that?
Considering what's going on with BRICS Nation, no.
Right? Let's see here. God damn it. I'll just read a little snippet here. So while the U.S. remains a top destination for millionaires abroad, the American wealthy are seeking backup citizenship and residency in other countries at record levels. So I see that as a true statement. I know for myself, I'm looking for secondary residency options, what have you. I guess from being a military guy, two is one is none. I like to have a backup. If I only have one thing and that fails, it's useless. But hopefully if I have two of them and one of them fails, I have a backup, right? So I encourage everybody to do their due diligence and get a secondary passport. A lot of places, either you do it by investment or you create a business entity in said country. You got to add to the value of that country. You got to bring something to a table, a digital nomad, what have you. Have any of you looked into that at all, or practice it, or doing it? Any tips to share with the people at home? Lindsay, go ahead if you have some tips.
Look up a sovereign citizen. Look up or nationalism. Look up nationalism, sovereign citizens, and see if that's something that you might be interested in, or if that's something that will benefit you and your family. It's not easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. Eventually, I will teach people how to do that once I figure it out for myself. But that's something that's so important to set up now. And I mean that when the tides turn, and the tides I mean by our currency in the world and where we're heading with. So our de-dollarization started in 1970, right?
Okay, right.
And so when that started, it wasn't like these things are all planned out. And the first digital dollar came across in what year? 1996.
Oh, wow.
Okay. 1996 was the first digital movement of money from computer to computer. And now here we are in 2024, where we are man and machine. And that's what I wrote earlier about being the fourth industrial revolution, because here we are already in a WAR. We have been in a storage WAR for, let's see, 2010. So we've been in this WAR for about 14 years now. And now it's time where the clock is ticking, right? The clock is ticking. Yeah, currency can only last for so long. And what do you do when you can't just wipe out a nation's currency? You have to evolve. And so we're seeing all these other nations coming together and joining these forces, and they have their tokens. They have all of the systems put in place for that particular nation, so to speak. There's a lot of letters in there because there's more countries joining it, and there's more countries over on the Western Hemisphere that are joining it too. So anyway, long story short, we are going to see some serious action coming up in October. Like, October is a big month for us as a community. I am really looking forward to that. And I cannot encourage people enough that if you're able to, then showing your support. I know traveling can be difficult at times, but there's lots of people out there that are willing to hang, and somebody's got an Airbnb out there that could fit 12 deep, right?
Are we hinting and talking about New York showing up, representing out New York? Talk about it.
Yeah, I'm going. I already
Yeah?
bought everything.
Yeah?
I already did all. I got my hotel. I'm booked. I'm there.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Who else
From
is going?
Asia. Okay, so nobody. I mean,
Hi.
that's far. Okay.
Right. And that's what we need. We need boots and nice shoes on the ground.
Mhm.
We need strength in numbers. And now something happens where that date gets pushed because courts freaking are not for the people, right? They're for the system, not for the people. Anyway, if something happens with that date, I would love to continue that energy and show up in a space where that space was created for us to not make a splash, but make a
presence. Let it be known we're here. Like,
yeah, and like, can we please keep it like less Animal House and more, we are, okay.
we do a good job collectively. I mean,
I don't know about that. No, not on Twitter.
I mean, not on Twitter, but out in public. Like, my experiences out in public in Vegas, what have you. Like, we are
it wasn't bad. It really was okay. It wasn't
approachable group. Like, we find a lot of people coming up, talking to us because we're all swagged out and what have you. But I hear you. It is important to have a good showing and representation. I mean, take Twitter out of it. I think out in the public, we do a good job and we talk and answer people's questions, and we're a very approachable group. But I mean, so Fashion Coder, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I think it's gonna be interesting. I can't go. I'm so sad. I have a conference that week, and so I won't be able to go. But I'm so pumped for everyone else because it's going to be, really exciting. Hopefully it doesn't get moved. This week actually I had to do jury duty. So I am very well versed this week about what is going on within the court system. I didn't get selected, which was good. It was a high profile case. I'm not going to say anything else, but it was like gross. And so I'm so grateful I didn't get selected because it would have been hard. But yeah, and so I'm just excited for everyone that you get to be a part of that. And I think it's cool just kind of seeing what's happened this week with things that I've been involved in, and then watching what other people in our community have been involved in, is we really are getting the word of Pulse Chain out and being able to be involved in different things. People are more open to the idea of Pulse Chain and Hex and all of that now than I think they were beforehand, because I feel like beforehand people were, I don't know, kind of mean and wouldn't even give someone like the time of day, whereas I feel like they do that more now.
Yeah,
I agree.
for sure.
I think that when for those who are going, I used to be an attorney. I never talk about that, but I wasn't a good attorney, but I was an attorney. I've been in courtrooms. And if I can give any advice on, as a stylist, please look respectful. A courtroom is a very conservative, very traditional. So, collared shirts and real shoes, not flip. I mean, it's October, so it'll be cold, but look like you're going to meet your wife's parents, or look respectable is really what would be my advice. To really
going to court to say, I don't need to be in a suit and tie to be an investor that you deem accredited worthy of investing in this technology, just like that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But great points. And it's a court of law and what have you. Now, who knows how many, because it can only capacity wise, right? If they do allow, public into the pews of the courtroom, they may only have 50 seats available, right? And we're 200 deep. But either way, we'll be, people will be loitering around, right? And representing. So I think it's a huge call to action and a good representation. It's going to be a good representation. I know people nonstop talk about it. It's like the next Hex or the next Pulse Chain tour meetup. Everyone's like, "Hey, are you going? Are you going? Hey, where are you staying? Like, let's get the band back together. Like, come on, let's do it again." And just, because literally, like, I mean, we all enjoy each other's company.
Yeah,
right?
we can have fun too. I mean, I plan to have fun, but I think the day of the court is a day to show up for the cause, show up for Richard, show up for. We're fighting for what we believe in, and you're going to fight if you have the right, if you look respectable. That's just my opinion. People can disagree or not agree. I don't really care, but that's my opinion.
Treat it like a good mullet. Business in the front, party in the back.
Girl, I love it. Oh, fuck. I love it. You nailed it. Oh, my God. That'd be almost a mic drop, like boom, I'm out.
Well, we really are a dynamic community, and because when we show up, we're not just like a bunch of people in a room. That energy around us is palpable. You can't ignore. I mean, swag. Even if we didn't have like the same swag on, people are like, "Oh, I see that. That looks cool." No, it's the energy. It's the way we are around each other. We're excited. We're looking forward. We're looking for the future. That makes us bright, bright, bright stars. And you never know because, well, if you've been in a court or courtroom situation or any of that, you know that the decisions and the conversations are already made and had before you hit the courtroom. They're made before you hit the mediation room. They're made before it comes to the table. So I know it sounds like a little militant or like crazy, but like, I beg you, get on the elevator, smile to the person next to you, say hello, open the door. Like those little tiny things make such a big difference, especially when you're representing a decentralized community. You are a unique individual. We are all unique individuals. And together, collectively, we really have to come together and say, listen, there could be like 500 people in this room and there could be 500 different opinions, but there's one thing that we can all agree on, and that's what's happening here isn't right. And that's what's to focus on.
You want the judge to root for us. And if we, look and act like a bunch of degenerates, they're not going to root for us, so that's really what part of our job is.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree. We got to fight up for the little man. Like, we are the little people. I think the bigger, one of the big plays is, I believe there's a significant amount of wealth that is ultimately going to transfer from Ethereum over to Pulse Chain. And there's many different ways to conceal, obfuscate that, as so people don't freak out. Because what I've foreseen, in my own opinion, but what I've heard as well from other smart people who have done a lot of research, is like you don't want to freak out the Ethereum bros and gals when there's a massive exodus. But if you can do it in such a way where, okay, it's this $1 representation of one thing over here, but when you unravel it, like there's more value behind it, but all you see transferred is just like one thing, not a bunch. There's a lot of little things, and maybe they're losing with, because retail in general is moving in to Bitcoin with the Bitcoin ETFs, and now eventually they're moving in to the Ethereum ETFs, like that retail side, and hence the institutionals are all coming in. You don't want to blow up Ethereum, with the Ethereum ETFs coming in, and because if there's no Ethereum, like, that does nobody any good, right?
Exactly.
So I don't think you don't want to blow that up, right? So you got to craft this in such a way that the true believers, whoever you are in all the other chains, in my opinion, believe in true crypto and in what true DeFi is. Let us have Pulse Chain, and as Pulse Chain represents true decentralized finance, you guys, the the stage has been set and all the other chains and whatnot. You guys can have that. We're gonna be over here. This is us. We're keeping this for us as true crypto while you guys do all that other stuff over there. That's my opinion. And we'll see how it plays out and who's right and who's not. But in the meantime, I mean, I feel that the Pulse Chain ecosystem is very robust. It's very strong. Bonded liquidity pairing. It's like peeps. You got to do a little research on it. It'll blow your mind. These AMM, I call them little bastards. Some people call them the green backpacks. These bots, the automated market makers, go back and forth. They're just buying and selling, arbitration, everything, and moving stuff over. And without any human interaction, you literally can a token can rise over time without any human interaction. It's an amazing concept and thing. It hasn't been done anywhere else. This is Pulse Chain's pioneering in that regard. But so I kept you ladies for an hour. I mean, like, we could probably keep just shooting the shit forever. And I really appreciate that. And that's lovely because it's just very easy and laid back, and that's what
I could talk to you guys forever, like all day long. For real. So many things I want to talk about, but we'll stop here.
I know we'll do this again because I love listening to all of you. I do.
Likewise. Same. Yeah, so by all means, this doesn't have to be. It can just be a continuation of, or until next time. I really would love to, I want, just like what this channel is, I want to hear the stories of other, military veterans and first responders, but also just, the women, the ladies in crypto in general from any chain. We want to highlight and hear their stories and get to know them and build relationships. Because I'm not in it for the short term. I'm going to be here a while. A lot of us got 15-year stakes.
Yep.
Right? Cuatro Cinco, baby.
Oh, yeah. I did it.
So it's all good. But yeah, if you guys want to go around the horn, we can start with Crypto Stylist, where people can find you, or if you don't want to be found, lost in Asia.
On X, you can find me at Crypto Stylist, just like in my name tag.
Yes. I was dropping that earlier. I
stream sometimes here and there. I guest on other people's shows sometimes.
Yeah. When's the last time you were on like Crypto Cabana's show?
Gosh, that was in the beginning when I first started. It's probably well over a year ago. But I did it 2 weeks in a row. It was really fun.
Right? He's a fun one. Did you do the trivia and stuff?
Oh yeah, I did the trivia. I didn't do very well, but I did the trivia.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, hey, if you hear that, Cabana, get all these ladies on, hit them up. Fashion Coder, where can the kids find you?
So, if you want to find me, you can go to cryptobestie.io. That has everything linked on it. It has all my products and then also all my social medias. But I do stream on YouTube and make videos and stuff. I have all the social medias. So if you just look up Fashion Coder, you can find me. And Vets, thanks so much for having me here. And also thanks so much for your service for the country. That's just phenomenal. So thank you.
Yes, my pleasure to serve. Thank you for coming on and entertaining this weird guy of putting the show on. But thank you. But just to touch on the last thing you did last month, can you touch on what you wrapped up?
Yeah, was it the crypto wellness journey? Is that what you're talking about? Yes. So I did a 30-day, series on leveling up your life, not just your finances. And it was super fun. I really enjoyed it. It took me 3 months to film all of that content to post every single day. My life is not that cool. So I had to take the 3 months to film it to get to that point. But it was really cool. And it was really cool, the response of just, you're not going to be able to enjoy your wealth if you're not doing other things in your life to be able to help with your health and in health in all ways. So yeah, it was great doing that, and it got a great response. So thanks.
Yeah, it did. It did. And Lindsay, you, what was the book or the greatest things or what was it?
I wrote a book called Getting Started with Crypto: 8 Steps to Success. That one, I put those on these. I don't know if you can see them. They're there we go. Maybe it's a little blurry.
So cute.
So they're lip balms, and then they have QR codes on them. And one QR code will take you to the website where you can repurchase if you like. And the other QR code takes you to a video on how to onboard into Pulse Chain. And it shows you how to set up an exchange, and then how to bridge, and then how to custody your crypto. And it's all right here on a little QR code. And I sent those out to the Pulse Chain Tour. I got to get some more out to them. I was only able to send out a few at the time, but I want to get some more swag out to them. I have had so far, I have had 12 people out of 50 tubes. 12 people have reached out and gotten the book.
Wow. Wow. It's working. The QR code is working. Holy crap.
Working. So it's having the little ideas. I encourage everyone out there. Everyone has a skill or a talent or something that you can relate to with that. For me, it was just something like going back to my roots and saying, okay, I really love making lip balms and sugar lip scrubs. And they are, I'll call them a sweet impression. So it's like the best little business card that is a gift that keeps on giving. Well, and you bought some. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. I really did.
Glad honored you remembered. But yeah, that's cool.
Happy dance, man.
And I took those on the Pulse Chain tour and I handed them out on the cruise, on the Pulse Chain cruise, excuse me. Yeah, so it was super cool. Yeah, brilliant idea. The QR. Hey, are all you guys utilizing Linktree for your socials, just to compress everything and right?
I'm trying to find a better one.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it works. I like it, especially when you only have so many characters. Let's say on X, right, in your profile, and you've got so much to share and not some little space. That Linktree works good. It's free. It's one link and sends you to a place where you got all your other socials listed and everything. But it works really good. Hey, hello, Miss Sandy Beach. Good to see you. Appreciate you.
She's crushing it with her challenges.
Hi, Sandy.
Right. Whenever I can, I'm always, I'm a Sandy Beach supporter and retweet and post her content as well. Yeah. So, man, has anyone ever? Sandy Beach would be a cool one to get on stream. We need to get you on stream. Does she go on stream? Has anyone seen her?
No, we're trying. We're trying.
Okay.
Sandy was a little shy for a little while. Sandy's going to come out of her shell. We know.
I don't mean to, but I mean to call you out. But yeah, if we can get you.
Yeah, you get up here.
Definitely. Well, ladies, all right. This was absolutely awesome and outstanding. Appreciate everybody's time. Hopefully we can do this again. And the future's bright. I have no worries. Like, you have a little bit more time, people, to accumulate. Keep accumulating, and you are going to be we're going to be rewarded. Like, you just keep holding the line. I have nothing but faith and confidence in RH and the system. I mean, do any of you disagree?
I agree.
Don't what, Lindsay?
I said, don't walk away in May. Don't walk away in May.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, well, that's for those TradFi people. I mean, like, they do that, But
it's going to get like it. The next BRICS meeting is in October. So I was saying that October is going to be a fun month for us. The next BRICS meeting is coming up in October. Who's spearheading BRICS this year?
Which one of the
Which one of the ends of the sh.
right.
So we are about to see some very interesting things coming this summer, and stablecoin regulations, stablecoin talking. We're really going to start seeing more focus around stablecoins because that is the gateway. That's our gateway.
Yeah. Imagine everything pegging over here on Pulse Chain. Woo! Yeah.
They're not ready for us. They're not ready.
Oh man, so small doses, right? And that's kind of like what we've been doing with the series, and with rigged service pulse trends is just introducing this information slowly, so it's a little digestible because it's like a fire hose. It's just coming right at you, and so break it up into little baby pieces and try and get people to wrap their heads around the big picture here, and it's coming slowly but surely. But all right, I'll send us out with the outro, and thank you everybody for attending. Until next time.
Thank you, Chad.
All right, SEC charges Hex founder Richard Hart with misappropriating millions of dollars of investors' funds from unregistered